Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Mike. You already know what is up and what is good. And in today's video, I want to be talking about the one thing about the Celtics that we're all failing to acknowledge. And that all starts in their young core in Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Terry Rozier. Now, what I'm trying to get at is their lack of consistency on the road. You saw how in the playoffs that this really took full effect there. You saw how they were great at home. They were absolutely amazing at home. But when it came to playing on the road, their standards did not come to par. So they were not the same player at home as they are on the road. And I know that is part of their game they have to develop because they are such young players. But with this being said, 2 of the 3 players in this video are in their starting lineup. So they're going to have to adjust at some point in their careers. So them getting huge minutes early in their career is definitely going to help them adjust and improve that part of their game to where they can be consistent both on the road and at home, especially when the time comes that it matters most. So if you watch the Celtics all year, you saw how this was always came into full effect to where Terry Rozier, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown were not the same player on the road that they were at home. And I know this has to come in play to them being such young players, but like I said, 2 of the 3 players in this video are in their starting lineup. And the reason this is so urgent is because, yes, Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward are coming back this year. You still have to have them be reliable when they are in the game on the road. We all know that they are reliable at home, but when it comes to road games, that's what you're going to have when you're in the playoffs. At some point, you're going to have to take 1 or 2 games on the road to finish out the series. You can't heavily rely on having to win all 4 games at home. You have to be able to finish the series out in at least 5 to 6 games at the least. Now, because you're not going to sweep through every round of the playoffs, so you have to at least get through 5 or 6 games in the series. And if you push a game to 7, it's a 50-50 win, so anybody can win that game. And especially if they're not, they're going to be in home court advantage this season, but if you don't have home advantage in the playoffs, you're going to have to heavily rely on your players and key players and your role players to play better on the road, or at least up to par on the road as well as they do at home. So, and that goes for all the teams. This is why I see this as being urgent, because they are in contention now. The Boston Celtics are in their contention phase right now. They are contending for championships right now, and I know they will be contending for championships down the road, but they are in prime position to contend for a championship right now. And if people are saying that the Celtics are the best team in the league, 2 of their maybe 3 or 4 top players on the team aren't consistent on the road as well as they are at home. So we're going to have to heavily pay attention to that when it comes playoff time. Because remember, they were in the playoffs this year, they were excellent, they were outstanding at home, but when it came to the road games, they were not the same players at all. So teams like the Sixers, the Pacers, and the Bucks, maybe even the Wizards will be able to take, and the Raptors are going to be able to take advantage of those type of situations where those players aren't going to be up to par on the road than they are at home. So this is why it is urgent to pay attention to how this upcoming season, to see if that playoff experience this season will be able to take play in adjusting their game and improving that part of their game to being consistent on both the road and at home at a good rate to where you can heavily rely on those players at all times. That's what's going to be able to put them to the next level of being consistent in their game on the road and at home. And you saw how the Celtics went to 7 games 2 times this season because they were not able to finish out games on the road in that series. So you have a 7-game series in the first round against the Bucks, which could have easily gone either way. And then of course you have the 7-game series against the Cavs in the conference finals. So just situations like that where if they were able to have that same consistency on the road that they have at home, then maybe you have a different situation in this year's finals, where you have a different finals matchup for the first time, I believe, 5 years or 4 years. So stuff like that always comes into play, and I know they're young players. I'm saying that's why this is so urgent, because those young players are the building blocks of what this team is contending for right now, meaning they are in their contention mode right now. So with those players not having that part of their game developed yet, although they are young players and it comes later in their career, they are contending for a championship right now. And if you're facing the Warriors in the finals, or a good team in the 2nd or 3rd round, and other teams' bench or role players or even starters are better on the road than you guys are at home, something's going to happen to where the Celtics might get taken out the 2nd or 3rd round just because of poor performance by some of their key players on the bench or starting in the game. So This is why you have to keep an eye on what the Celtics do going ahead, and having these guys get reliable minutes and heavy minutes for each of these players. So hopefully this summer they really got that part of their game developed, that being mentally, so where it doesn't matter whether they're playing at home or the road, their game and the arsenal that they built and going to do drills and playing and putting in work in the gym, their arsenal won't rely if they're at home or on the road. So hopefully they built that consistency in their game to where it doesn't matter if they're on the road or at home. In the playoffs, it doesn't matter. So hopefully this summer they were able to get some reps up, build some consistency in their game and part of their arsenal, so where it won't matter if they're on the road or at home, or it doesn't matter in the playoffs, regular season, it doesn't matter. So when the time matters most, they are reliable. They can get the minutes in the final minutes of a game, a finals game, a playoff game, it doesn't matter, regular season game. So hopefully they were able to really get that part of their game fixed and to help these Boston Celtics contend for a championship this year in the coming up year. So guys, let me know if you guys agree with this or not. You guys definitely saw in the playoffs how they were not the same team on the road. And I know Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward were not there. I understand, but if these guys are your starting lineup and you guys have a road game and it's a key game that you guys must win, something might come up to where the other team can take advantage of situations like that. So guys, let me know what you think about that. Thank you for watching this video. It's been your boy Mike, and you can let that beat drop.